There's a good reason I'm sitting out in 114 degree weather and it's not healthy eating and it's not cooking. It's this guy. Scorpion. So, if you are squeamish about scorpions, or you're just curious about scorpions, or you have a scorpion infestation, and you're terrified of the scorpions, you found the right video, because today I'm going to tell you everything I know about scorpions. We're going to see a lot of great footage of scorpions. We're going to hunt scorpions. I'm going to show you how to get rid of them, how to control them, or just how to admire them. And they are fascinating creatures. So, stick around. All right, so we are about to go out and have Elliot catch the infamous Arizona bark scorpion. And then, just because Elliot's a man and he's a stud, he's agreed to get stung by one.
Wait, what?
Before we go hunting, let's talk about the tools you're gonna need. You're gonna need some sort of container with smooth sides, like this stainless steel container, or glass works great too. You're also gonna need a blacklight. I ordered this behemoth blacklight so I could see scorpions clear across my yard. And also you need something to grab them with. I prefer salad tongs because they close nice and tight, but they don't smash the scorpions.
And what we're gonna do is we're gonna just walk around the perimeter of the house.
And we have Colby over here too, so you can see her out there. You look like a walking tank top.
My dress is pretty.
Look at this, we just hit the jackpot.
Okay, there we go.
So there's one behind the wall, there's two in the ground, 3, 4, 5.
Is that one right there?
Look at that.
6.
Yeah. So look at that. That's how they light up. And you can see they're pretty easy to see. It's a little creepy. Hold on, check your feet. Make sure nobody's stepping on a scorpion. If this was my house, I'd be getting my spray, and I have some deadly scorpion spray. I would be spraying these guys because that's a lot of scorpions to catch. Can you do it, Elliot? Don't die, Elliot. Holy crap, he's gonna die, he's gonna die! Oh my gosh! See him in there? Well, he's not happy. Look at him. Woo! He's dancing.
Oh, one escaped into the wall.
See, that's why you gotta get the poison. Yeah, there's no... You can't get it.
Oh,
Escaped. That's what the poison is.
This guy.
Whoa, there he goes. Nice, man. Hold on, gotta... Okay, here's what they look like. Woo, they are fighting. Wow, look at that. Oh, you almost got a tooth for that one's on the run. Where'd he go? Get this one. Oh, get him. Where'd he go? Got him.
Inside that wall, too.
Got him.
He's gonna be a tough one to get.
You got this, Elliot. Oh, he's running. Oh, he snagged him. Nice catch.
7, 8, 9, 10.
Yep, 10 of them. Wow, that's a good haul.
That is a good haul. And I feel like I just did my neighbors back there a real service. Because something tells me they're not doing pest control. That's where we're finding them all.
On that back wall.
But yeah, 10. It's a good haul. Nice job. Nice job, Scorpion Hunter Dave.
All right, well that is how you catch scorpions in Arizona. Hope you enjoyed this video.
Absolutely. And
Thanks.
take care. And we're going to go take care of this scorpion stew.
All right, go eat it. All right, see ya.
See ya.
There are over 30 species of scorpions in Arizona. That blows my mind. However, there are 3 that are the most commonly found. There's the giant desert hairy scorpion, and it's big. It gets up to like 6-7 inches big. It's a pretty big scorpion. Then you have the striped-tailed scorpion, which is very common. And probably the most common in residential areas is the bark scorpion. It is actually the most venomous scorpion in the entire United States. And it's only found mostly in Arizona and in Southern California and Southern New Mexico where they border Arizona, and then down on into Baja, Mexico. So if you're terrified of scorpions, avoid those places at all costs. The reason the Arizona bark scorpion is the most common found in neighborhoods and homes and backyards and in your bed is because they're climbers. Unlike the other 2 that I mentioned, they're not very good climbers. They mostly just found on the ground under rocks. Most of the homes around Arizona are HOAs and they have walls everywhere. And those little guys love those walls. So they'll climb right up them and find little nooks and crannies to hide inside of them. Oh, get him. Oh! Ah. The scorpions have really not changed in 400 million years. That ought to give you an idea of how hardy these creatures are. Scorpions are arachnids. They have 8 legs, they have multiple eyes, and they are in that spider family. They have 2 pairs of these little, I don't know how to say the word, but it's positioned on either side of the mouth, and this allows the scorpion to rip and tear its prey while feeding. The pedipalps, or the pincers, are what they use to kind of feel around and sense for things, and they can also use them to hold prey. Watch these 2 scorpions. One's gonna run into the other one, and look how he uses his pincher, reaches out as the other one spins around because he's like, what are you doing? And he reaches out and grabs him. Is he reaching out to grab him to say, oh, don't mess with me? Or is he reaching out to grab him to calm him down and say, don't worry, I'm your friend? It's very interesting to see how scorpions interact with each other. And just look at those little hairs. These are tiny, 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 tiny little hairs. Scorpions can actually sense those hairs moving, and that's one way that they can, quote, see. The Arizona bark scorpion has very narrow pincers, and some other scorpions have very fat pincers or fat looking hands. And what they found is the narrower the pincers are, the more venomous the scorpion is, because it doesn't need to really have big crushing pincers. Their tail has 5 segments, and you can tell that each one is a little bit longer than the last. And at the tip is the stinger. And this stinger is what they use to inflict pain, to subdue their prey, and they'll usually have a series of quick jabs. Now, the interesting thing about scorpions is their lungs are on their underside, and this is where they breathe. I also just enjoy watching them walk. Look how they move their legs. Look at the sequence they move their legs in and the position that they hold their legs in so tight to their backs. And they're very agile. However, they're not very fast. One of the reasons scorpions are so hard to kill with poison is because, unlike most insects, they don't clean themselves. You'll see flies and spiders and all sorts of things rubbing their legs across their body and then licking them. And so if they walk across poison and then do that, they ingest the poison. Well, scorpions don't do that. Why do scorpions glow under UV light or a black light? Well, you might be surprised to hear that scientists don't actually know. There is a chemical in the exoskeleton of the scorpions that causes them to glow. The interesting thing is that's confusing everybody is most nocturnal animals don't want to glow and say, here I am. And under moonlight, that UV light bouncing off the moon, a lot of animals can actually see the scorpions. So they don't really know why scorpions developed that particular feature. The most common theory is that it's almost like a giant eye for them, like their whole body is in some way an eye. Scientists think that it's to help them know when they're in cover, when they're safe, and when it's safe to come out in the at nighttime. So no one really knows exactly why they glow. I'm just glad they do. Scorpions are what we might consider legally blind. In other words, Scientists figure that they can distinguish between light and dark, but if you watch the way they walk around, they use their little pincers almost like a blind person uses a blind stick to feel their way around. Well, they love places that are dark and humid. So if you have a wood pile, pretty much a guarantee you're gonna have scorpions there. Maybe a nice big pile of bricks or rocks. Scorpions will love those. And we noticed when you leave like a wet towel or a bathing suit or even a life jacket or any sort of toy out overnight, you pick it up in the morning, pretty good chance there's gonna be a scorpion under there. So don't leave wet towels or shirts or clothes or anything on the ground, especially outside, overnight. All you have to do is pick it up and put it on a chair. And if that chair, like this one here, has a metal surface that's hard for a scorpion to climb, you're probably safe. There's two things that scorpions are drawn to in your yard. Number one would be any sort of humidity or moisture. We live in a very arid, dry state. And so if you have a pool or a lot of trees and vegetation and things that keep it humid, scorpions will be attracted to that because guess what else is attracted to that? The second reason why they like to come to your yard, insects. A scorpion can get in your pool and live for 2 days underwater. If you end up seeing a scorpion in your pool and you pull it out and it looks dead, don't assume it's dead, because after a few minutes it will all of a sudden come to life, and people have been stung because they've been foolishly handling what they thought was a dead scorpion that had drowned. So whenever I'm out searching my yard during the summer months, especially if the scorpions are very active, I will always just give my pool a quick scan with the black light. Now, fortunately, I have not heard of anyone being stung by a scorpion while in the pool. The best way to actually control scorpions is to eliminate their food source, which is why many people in Arizona use pest control to get rid of their food source. So if you hear a lot of crickets in your yard, you're seeing bugs everywhere, there's a good chance you have scorpions. Scorpions are very hard to kill with poisons. I found that if I use Psychic, it's supposedly safe for pets. We have a very small dog and she has never gotten sick. I will spray in front of the doors. I will spray around anywhere where a little scorpion might be able to get in. One of the most effective things that will actually kill scorpions is called diatomaceous earth. And it's great, but it is kind of messy. It leaves a little powder and everything. But if you're having a scorpion infestation, that's something to consider as well. My preferred method, as you saw at the beginning of this video, is to go out when they're active and hunt them. It's probably the most work because it requires consistently going out each night and looking for scorpions and catching them. So I use a combination of poisons and just going out and hunting them. Now, why do they get in your house? Well, they're getting in your house looking for food or looking to get out of the sun. So the best way to keep scorpions out of your house is try and seal up anywhere in your house where you have a little tiny crack coming through. They can flatten and squish their bodies down to get into the smallest spaces. If you can fit a credit card through it, pretty much a full-grown adult Arizona bark scorpion can squeeze its body through there. So some places might be, if you leave your windows open at night and you have a screen that doesn't quite close all the way, a scorpion could get through there. So just make sure your screens and your windows fit nicely. Check the weather stripping around your doors, all of the doors in your house, and keep your doors closed. Just like any other bug, spider, cricket, whatever, they can crawl in and you may not even notice them. A lot of people end up getting stung in their bed. So how do they end up in your bed? Well, in Arizona, most of the air conditioning vents are in the ceiling, and they usually place them just above the beds or just to the side of the bed. Well, if the scorpions get up into your attic, they're trying to find a way out. Not necessarily walking through the vents, but just following them. And then they'll come right where that pipe comes through the sheetrock. And a lot of times there's just a little tiny gap right there where they've cut the sheetrock out and put the pipe through, and the scorpions will squeeze through there. And now they're just right on the vent cover, and they'll crawl out through the little vent holes and try crawling across your ceiling. It has a hard time hanging onto the ceiling, so it might make it a foot or two and then just fall. One common misconception about scorpions is that they are aggressive. Well, I can tell you in many hours of observation, I can tell you they are not aggressive. and that actually makes them more likely to sting you. What scorpions will do when they're threatened, most commonly, is freeze. Squeeze their bodies as small as they can be and just hold still. They want to be as small and as invisible as possible and just not move. They will let you get right next to them. In fact, you can even bump them and touch them and they won't move. They won't try and sting you. If you were to step on them or push down hard on them with a tool like I am here in this video, you'll see that it takes that much to get them to actually sting you. A lot of bugs, they see that big old foot coming down on them and they're like, ah, get out of here. Not a scorpion, it ain't moving. It's just gonna sit right there and get squished because it knows it will probably survive. Scorpions will crawl across carpet, they will crawl across grass, they'll crawl across artificial turf. However, they prefer hard surfaces because scientists believe that all these little tiny hairs that you see on scorpions help them sense an insect up to a foot away. Scorpions are actually nocturnal, so they're not very active during the day. Most people know that scorpions are more active in the summer. They say whenever it's hot, the scorpions are out. Well, I found out why. The first reason is mating season. Scorpions are very active during mating season, which usually kicks off around May. The female scorpions have a gestation period of several months. Newborns are born in around July. Scorpions can live 5 to 6 years and every year have 25 to 30 babies and they carry them all on their back. Baby scorpions don't actually glow under UV light until they have their first molt, which is about 3 weeks after they're born. So when you shine it on the mother's back, there'll be a dark spot on her back. So if you want to have very effective scorpion control, make sure you're very active, either hiring professionals or DIY scorpion control, especially in July and August, because that's when the mamas are out with their babies or the little ones are running around. And I've learned through my own experimentation that the little ones are a lot easier to kill with poisons, even residual poison. If I spray that psychic around, like near the entryways, both on the inside and outside of my doors, and anywhere I think a scorpion can get in, I've found, multiple times, little tiny baby ones that have crawled through that residual and ended up not making it more than 5 or 10 feet beyond that before they die. People call it hibernation. I don't know if it's true hibernation, but they are definitely less active and I rarely see them during the cooler months. Even though they're relatively solitary creatures, during the winter, the Arizona bark scorpion, for some unknown reason, will congregate in big groups of 20 or 30, all piled on top of each other during the winter. The Arizona bark scorpion is the most venomous scorpion in North America. Thousands of people are stung every year in Arizona. However, there have only been 2 recorded fatalities since 1968. That's pretty good odds. However, there is a vulnerable population, and that would be children age 4 or younger, or the elderly who may not be in the greatest of health. So what to do if you're stung by a scorpion? Well, in most cases, they say there's nothing to do. You just kind of have to deal with the pain. People say icing the area, taking some Benadryl, some ibuprofen or Tylenol to help with the pain. The most common complaints that people have is that particular part of your body may experience some severe pain, numbness, tingling, even some temporary paralysis. But eventually that will go away after a couple of days and most people make a full recovery. If you fall into one of the high-risk categories, definitely go see a doctor. Is there an anti-venom? Yes, there is. Invented right here in Arizona. And it's almost never given. And there's a good reason for it. It is very, very expensive. 1 vial of scorpion antivenom is 3 grams, just 3 tiny grams, and it costs $30,000 and takes 250,000 scorpions to get enough antivenom for 3 grams. So 1 gallon of antivenom would cost $39 million. So, not used very often, only in extreme cases or life-saving emergencies is the antivenom used. Most people are going to recover just fine. Well, I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope you found it informative and you learned a lot about scorpions. They are amazing. Living here in Arizona, the vast majority of people never even see scorpions. The reason I see so many is because I go looking for them. So, if you're having a scorpion infestation, use the tips I gave you, and within a season or 2, you should probably be back to normal, or you can always hire professionals. There's a lot of professionals in the valley that will be happy to come and rid you of your scorpion problem. And never pick a scorpion up. The scorpions you see me handling in this video are dead. I don't pick up live scorpions because just not worth the risk. All right, everyone. Hope you enjoyed this video. Stay tuned for other Arizona Life videos. And of course, those of you who are regular subscribers, we'll get back to our healthy lifestyle, healthy cooking, and plant paradox videos coming soon.